Opposites attract. Even I remember there were like other lines that were still in the track when I first performed it, and then I changed it again because it didn't feel right, or I added another line, or so it's like, how long did it take to write? I don't really know. But it kind of, I think I wrote it around the same time as Incapability, and it was like I think the main idea of Opposites Attract was the first line of it. If there was no grief, would there be joy? Because I was always kind of afraid for my parents to pass, and I don't know who I was directing this thought to, but I was thinking, I don't need them to die in order for me to know that I would miss them, kind of thing. So it was like because you see in the movies, or like people always say, oh, you don't know like how much you loved him or her or whatever until she's gone, or that kind of thing. And so I was always like, no, I don't need for them to be gone to realize how much I love them, So like, please, I don't want them to pass. I don't want that to go away. So while I was grieving my dad, I'm wondering, I don't know, I guess trying to make sense of it. So it's like, if there was no grief, would there be joy? So maybe to help me understand, a grief is a good thing, because now everything that is joy is that much more joyous because I've seen grief, So it's not necessarily to be taken literal. Like, if there was no grief, there would not be joy. But it's more like, even though maybe they feel like opposites, they like complement one another. Does that make sense? So that's like what Opposites Attract is about. And this line was like the first one that I had in mind. And then, and because of the saying, like, opposites attract, that's what people say. But so I was like, what does that even mean? And why? And is it true? And so, like, going through those different questions that I have is not necessarily literal, but just to go to those places and think, if there was no we, would there be an I? Like, in the spirit of emancipation, you're always trying to do everything by yourself, but it's like, yeah, but would there be an I if there was no we? Like, can I really be this emancipated person if there wasn't a we, if there wasn't a family, if there wasn't friends, if there wasn't, even people that brought me into this world? So it's like, just kind of going through those different steps in life and questioning it, and maybe like having that awareness that the grief and the joy brought to me, to just be able to live everything a little more intensely and consciously, and therefore maybe feeling a little bit more alive, even though sometimes it could be painful. But I think that's part of it. I don't think there can be a pain-free existence. So to find the beauty in that. But also, actually, because at the very end I say, for opposites attract, the opposite is a necessity. So I think in that line I was specifically thinking of Burundi and our ethnic conflicts, and how and the genocides that we had, like trying to wipe out an entire ethnicity. Like, I don't think like, for opposites attract, we are a necessity. So it's like, even if you wiped out that whole other part, actually you wouldn't make sense anymore. Even if it's your enemy, do you realize like how much your enemy actually makes you rise? Do you realize how much your enemy helps you work harder, or how, So it's like, it's important that the enemy is there. Otherwise you just be chilling like a standstill, So it's like, the opposite is a necessity. Like, you can't. There's no reason. Actually, to try to fight it doesn't make sense. And to try to fight it would actually defeat the purpose why you're fighting it for, So yeah, for opposites attract, the opposite is a necessity, I think.
Opposites attract the opposite of what they are, as opposed to attract of their own kind. Opposites attract, so they say, and maybe they do.